Hallo Erde, wir sind live am Frequency Festival, VOLUME.at, willkommen im Frieden. Heute mit der Band Bastille. Wir haben hier Woody und Will. Nice to have you guys. You're playing Frequency Festival today and our main stage is much more bigger than in the years before. Are you still afraid of playing such huge stages or is it just business as usual for you?
Well, me and Will out of the band, we are kind of dead inside a little bit. We don't really get scared anymore with gigs. It's fun. I mean, we've played these songs quite a few times now, so I'm fairly confident it'll go alright today. But I personally really enjoy playing big stages. So yeah, I'm quite excited for it.
Yeah, but you get to sit still. Yeah. A big stage for me, it just means I got to run all the way over there to get to Dan, and I got to go to the I do about a mile. It's hard work.
I spend the entire time sat on my ass, so.
Yeah, Woody's lazy. Drumming's easy.
Okay. How do you release the pressure in advance of a gig? What is your ritual or something if you go on stage?
Might have a couple of drinks. Not every time, but the big thing we do is just kind of this weird vocal warm up that we got from this like West End stagecoach like a couple of years ago. He gave us this kind of routine, just making weird noises with our mouths and weird shapes and EI and sirens and arpeggios and yeah. Really basically anyone on the outside of the room thinks we've lost our minds and are making just random cuckoo noises.
Also, I hear that vocal warm-ups are the new rock and roll. You know, I mean, we smoke a crack pipe first and then do it.
Then you are gonna train your voice, and crack is always good for the voice. I heard.
Yeah,
definitely.
Pavarotti, he invented crack.
Ah, Pavarotti is the
so
founder
good.
of crack business of the world.
I believe.
Nessun Dorma literally translates as cracking ain't easy.
Yeah.
Cracking ain't easy.
You can't get done for libel if someone's dead, can you?
Probably not.
Good.
Next question is, you haven't played Austria that often. What comes into your mind when you think of Austria?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And something else, because he isn't living in Austria right now.
He should be.
He should.
Yeah. His heart will always be here.
No, I mean, I've heard that Austrians are like slightly more chilled out Germans. This is what I've heard. But
once again, for the Austrian listeners and viewers, what have you heard?
I've heard that Austrians are like slightly more chilled out Germans.
Okay, we're gonna remember this one. Let's talk to change it a little bit, let's talk about your music. You have chosen Sophie Turner for your new video. Why have you chosen her, and who comes up with the ideas for your pictures and movies?
Austin Peters, who directed this video, also directed the Floors video and the Laura Palmer video as well. So basically, kind of when it comes to like doing a video, we kind of say like any directors want to pitch for it. He came in with the pitch with the Demolition Derby, but then Sophie Turner was just kind of like an added bonus that they were casting for it. Both Dan and myself are actually massive Game of Thrones fans as well, so when we heard she was keen, it's like, yes, get her, sign her up now.
Okay. And are you into Game of Thrones as well, or?
Yeah, massively.
Okay. And what are you doing in your free time besides smoking crack and watching Games of Thrones?
I'm learning to fly a plane.
With crack or with?
Yeah, I take crack and then I fly. No, I'm actually a trainee pilot.
Okay.
Which is my new hobby. And Kyle does rock climbing. Okay. What do you do, Wood?
I play sport mostly. Cricket, which I know is not a big thing over here, but
no, it isn't.
Football though.
When are you going to beat Australia in cricket?
All right, you know something. Next time around, Ashes are coming next year. Don't worry. It was a blip this winter when things didn't go quite right, but no, we'll come back strong. I assure you.
Okay. It's no secret that you're working on new material, isn't it? Can you tell us something about it? When it's going to be released, or will it sound like the first album, or are you planning something different?
Well, we quite deliberately wanted it to sound a lot different to the first one. Unfortunately, we'd sort of not used any guitars, so it was really easy. We're just like, well, let's put a guitar on it and it's different. But then Dan reacted against that because he has an allergy to guitars, and so he started doing all these really weird, like, well, not weird, but just really electronic R&B songs. So we have songs now that
It's just violin and cello right now.
No, but I mean, there are some that literally sound like R&B from the 90s, like all electric drums, and then there are some that sound like a heavy sort of grunge band. So hopefully it's going to be quite diverse as a result. In terms of releasing it, we want it to come out in the summer next year. So fingers crossed.
Oh, fingers crossed for the
new
album.
Though, so.
I read in an interview that you said we just thought we had some indie band and that you never come that far. Right now you are the co-headliner for the Frequency Festival. Can you explain it to us?
A horrible clerical error. No, we just, I don't know, this kind of past 18 months, 2 years has just been the craziest time of our lives. I mean, prior to all this kind of taking off, all of us were kind of struggling musicians. We did tours where I borrowed our friend's mum's car, stayed on friends and friends' floors, couldn't pay rent. We were just broke. So I guess you've got to really want to play music if you're willing to go through all that. But yeah, I mean, between that and now, I don't know. We've just toured, and thankfully these songs are kind of connected with some people, and here we are. Really, I mean, there's no kind of secret or no magic formula as such.
Okay, because I would end up this interview with a question: do you have got some hints for upcoming bands, what they can do and what they shouldn't do? Smoking crack is definitely one of the best hints.
A crack habit is essential, kids. Get on it. No, it's not. Drugs are bad. Perseverance is probably the biggest thing. It's generally, I mean, there's people that I kind of came up with as well when I was younger. They're now working as accountants, all that sort of stuff. It's just basically, if you kind of stick at it long enough, eventually you'll be the kind of only one left standing, if you look at it that way. But I guess as far as bands go, just always keep writing. Like you can always write a better song. Don't think you're finished. You just got to keep working at it.
Also, I guess the way the industry works now, you kind of have to have something that's fairly complete before even attempting to get record company interest. As in, I think a lot of people perhaps are impatient and they'll write a song and they'll put it on YouTube, and then I think if you hold back for a while, kind of the way we did it, we once we decided we're starting Bastille as a band, we wrote a load of songs and we took a while and rehearsed them and got it all ready, and then we had like maybe an 8-month period where we had like a planned release and a single campaign, and we toured to back it up. And it was, at the time, it was never like contrived or really thought out, but in hindsight, there was definitely we maintained a good deal of momentum through this sort of relatively short period. I think if you spread yourself too thinly and you just keep putting stuff, and there's no real plan or sort of focal point, then it's hard for people to get excited or to think this could potentially be worth investing in. So I think, especially nowadays, you have to kind of you can't just make a demo and be like, oh, it's a demo. You have to have a finished product, and like we did all the artwork ourselves, and we had a kind of identity. I mean, it's basically, record labels are a bit lazy now.
Okay, yeah. Like, to sum it up, I would say you need, as a new band, crack, a strategy, and the belief in your progression.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like, first impressions are key. I mean, like, kind of following on from what Will said, kind of having all your kind of ducks in a row, so to speak, having everything together. You can do it on a very, very small budget still. Like, a website you can do for whatever, 20, 30 pounds. It's not, if you can get a friend, just call in favours, so make it look slightly professional. So when you finally present yourself to the world, you've already got songs ready to go. You've got a few photos and artwork and an ID, and then. That's also,
well, that's less easy. It's easier said than done. In this day and age, connecting with people on maybe social media and the internet, and having an actual sort of tangible fan base is very useful. Like, we were lucky that it sort of spread quite quickly, sort of word of mouth. So by the time record labels got interested, we were sort of we're doing tours to actually people who wanted to see us, rather than, and we invited them down to gigs and they'd be sold out gigs, and it's like, then they sniff that there might be some investment here because some of the work's done already.
Thank you very much. This was Bastille.